Put your headphones on for proper audio quality, motherfucker.
I'm playing copyrighted music. I don't give a shit.
I'll get a notification, I'm sure.
Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with, as always? Joseph Huggie, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 175. 23, and we took a DNA test, 100%. That bitch is on my mattress. Welcome, motherfuckers.
Your dog?
Yeah. You can see.
Thick. We see the thick. We see the thickness over there. Okay.
All the time, people ask me if, like, if she's like a pit bull or, like, and obviously she's a pit bull, but like, I'm like, yeah. And I did get a DNA test like for Christmas for her, but I was like, yeah, I got a DNA test, 100% that bitch.
Hey, you say 95% that bitch, 5% thick as fuck, son. Do something.
Hey.
In the words of Gucci Man, she thicker than a Snicker. Let's go. Even though Snickers aren't that thick in comparison to candy bars, I've seen bigger, but I digress. How are you, man?
I'm good. I am fantastic. How are you?
Another day in the jungle, in the Texas jungle. It was nice to see Wisconsin hold it down. Elect Crawford for Supreme Court and not let Elon Musk get his like $25 million he pumped into this campaign. While in turn being like, oh, George Soros. It's like, bro, you've pumped in like damn near 30 mil.
So people that like want to know what we're talking about. There was a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, and the bench is 3-3, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, even though they're supposed to be nonpartisan. So this is for the majority of the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, which is a big deal, like just in general, like for like voting rights and for like gerrymandering and shit like that.
Yeah.
However, Elon inserted himself into that election. This is the most money ever spent on a judiciary election in the history of the country. Elon, you said 25 million. I heard he put up 40. But it did get matched by Democratic billionaires. Reid Hoffman threw down, George Soros threw down, J.P. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. I guess he's a billionaire. He threw down. So they matched it. And the reason why Elon is so worried about it is because there's a law, I should say, in Wisconsin that car manufacturers can't own dealerships, and so that like fucks Tesla, like because they own their dealerships, I guess. So that's why he's so fucking invested in this. It's like, in case you were wondering. And so he put in 40 million. He also did an illegal lottery where if you voted, you would get $1 million check. I heard the Iron Ape said that the check went to some fucking like Republican like chairman or something. Like, what?
We passed out 2 checks. One went to this chick. One went to that guy, and if you signed the petition and voted, you got $100. You give you $100. So
all of it illegal. All of it illegal.
So he passed out $100 to everybody. He had a convention where he wore a cheese head, and yes, so there's a big law there where third-party dealerships are the only people that can sell cars. So that cuts Tesla out, and also it's kind of like a litmus test to see how much pull his money has, like in outside of the presidential election, because he dumped tons, like hundreds of millions of dollars into the presidential election. That's no secret.
$250 million.
Yeah, he was not shy about it at all. Yeah, that we know of. So, I mean, and all these people are really beholden to his checkbook. So it's kind of pathetic and sad. But it ended up not going well. She kind of was winning in a landslide. When 52% of the votes are in, she was up almost 40. It was like 57 to 43 percent in the vote. They called it whenever it was less than 90% of the votes were in. They were like, we can call this bitch. So it didn't really work
She's
out.
Still up by like hundreds of thousands of votes.
Yeah.
And 95% of the vote is in.
Yeah, and they're saying that they're going to try to redraw district lines and get rid of some of the gerrymandering that's been going on in Wisconsin. And they might create 3 new districts, which would be 3 more seats. So that's also why there was a really big push.
Right, like Elon was saying, it's for the House of Representatives. Okay, but no, in Wisconsin, it's the worst gerrymandered state ever. So it's 50-50 there, like all the time. It's like the swingiest of the swing states, except for the Republicans have like 2/3 of like the fucking seats in like their state Congress, because they gerrymander the fuck out of it. So it's like Democrats could get more votes than Republicans, and Republicans will have like way more seats.
So that's one of the things that they've been wanting to address. So now if that gets bumped up, that would something that would be changed. And a little bit of backstory on the guy she was running against. What was his name? Like Smythe or
no, it's
not Schmidt.
Brad Schimmel.
Schimmel.
Yeah. Schimmel. Yeah.
Schimmel. So he was a former prosecutor, a district attorney. He had a backlog of 6,000 untested kits for sexual assault that weren't tested. And then he said that they didn't have a backlog and lied about it. Then it came out he only had 9 of them tested. And then in the last 6 months of being in office, he got like a couple thousand of them tested, but they still voted his ass out. So then somehow he pulled together enough support to try to run and get the Supreme Court.
He became a judge.
Yeah,
not a Supreme Court judge, but he's like, yeah.
And then pushed to try to get that, but he has a history of not prosecuting stuff, not following through, and lying through his teeth. So it's not shocking that Wisconsins decided that they already were kind of over his shit when he was the district attorney, so it didn't really work out well for him. It's goofy that's who they put their backing behind. And yeah, I mean, Elon Musk was there passing out golden $1 million checks, the corniest shit ever. Like, it's so... The stuff that they would complain, like, George Soros is the puppet master behind the scenes. This dude's like the puppet master. That's like accusing your neighbor of, like, I think he sells weed, and then your other dude's like, oh, well, I got a weed farm. You want some weed? Like, hey, I'm passing out free samples on the front lawn and next to the bus stop. Like, it's fucking crazy how out in the open it is, and the double speak that they try to pull, and I think people are catching on. Then there was also 2 special elections in Florida. Republicans held those seats. But
that was for Matt Gaetz's old seat, and
District 1 and District 6, I think.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz's old seat, and then Mike Waltz, the national security advisor who added Jeffrey Goldberg to the fucking Signal group chat. Yeah. He was a congressman in Florida, so now his seat was open. Yeah. He won by 30 fucking points, dude, and this Republican barely hung on.
It was like one of them was by 11. They won by 11 points. The other one, I mean, they cut that by 2/3. So while Republicans still held the seats.
Yeah, they were supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's because Florida's gerrymandered.
Matt Gaetz's fucking district and Mike Waltz's district. Like, you would think he would hold on to that.
So Matt Gaetz, a.k.a. Quagmire, someone took his seat, and then Texter's Laboratory, fucking Walls.
Texter's Laboratory.
I say that to people when they're just texting and not paying attention. I'm like, hey, Texter's Laboratory. Like, are you over there? God. Isn't that good? That's good, bro. But the Wisconsin one is pretty big. That's huge. And then just seeing in the percentages and how things have swung, even in a state like Florida, to see them lose that much support is pretty eye-opening. So, I mean,
like
it's
3 months.
Yeah, it's fairly promising. So we'll see what happens. But shout out Wisconsin. Wasn't even close. Wisconsonians?
I think Wisconsinites.
I think it's just Wisconsins.
Wisconsonians.
Wisconsonians. Wisconsinites. That sounds tight.
Yeah.
But when I hear that, I think Mennonites. So then I just think they're all like Amish.
That's
not,
the religion who that's the group who's not vaccinated out in Texas who got the measles is the Mennonites.
See, and Mennonites are interesting because they're like, I'm Amish, but I own a car and I like guns,
but I don't take measles vaccines.
Yeah, so they're like kind of hip with technology. They're like 1995 normal people. They have some technology.
Not 95, bro. They had
used to watch
vaccines back in the 60s.
There was a great show my mom used to swear up and down was fucking real, and it was Amish Mafia. I don't know if you remember that reality show that was like totally staged. It was fucking crazy. There was a midget. There was an episode where there's an Amish midget. I was like, they wouldn't even let this guy hang around. But there was like one episode where they're like, somebody's selling illegal Amish goods and fake fruits and blankets. So they would call up their Mennonite friend who drove this big ass Dodge Ram, and he'd just go like fuck people up for him. And he drove through the fruit stand. This midget like punched this guy. It was epic. So when I hear Mennonites, I think about Amish Mafia and like just angry white guys with guns in the back of their truck. But I don't like the internet. You know, like they're almost normal, but they're not. They're like in between Amish and like, you know, us
That sounds like
sinners.
Wisconsinites.
Yeah, when I hear
Like
Knights,
almost normal, white guys with guns.
yeah, I mean, I got shout out Wisconsin. I got to give them their credit. They put the right person in a bench seat, so that's great. So hopefully this is trending up. And they say the way
Got rid of Aaron Rodgers.
What they say is
that was a big come up.
with how Wisconsin goes, the country goes. But there's always some stupid ass saying, Ohio knows the ways of the world. I'm like, what? Like, no.
Well, it is true that no president has won the presidency without Ohio in like decades. Wisconsin, not as much.
Yeah. Anyways, but other than that, man, I've been doing good. But that literally was going down like, I mean, like you said, they're still counting votes, but we'll see. Elon Musk has
Biden won the presidency without Ohio. But before that,
who was John Kasich was in Ohio.
like Obama, I think won Ohio once, and then not again. So I don't know. I think they say Ohio. I think Ohio's just red now. It's Pennsylvania maybe, but the thing is, it's like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania all kind of vote the same. They're all kind of the same people.
Yeah.
So it's like if Wisconsin, that's why I think where that goes. It's like Wisconsin is the ultimate swing state, and if Wisconsin is feeling a certain type of way, it's likely that Michigan is and Pennsylvania is as well.
And then they did pass voter ID law, voter ID.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But voter ID.
Sticky thinks that, like, for real, he buys the bullshit. He thinks that Democrats don't want voter ID because they want illegal people people who are undocumented to vote. And like he's like, why? He's like, I don't even understand why you guys wouldn't want it unless that's why you wanted it. And I'm like, it's hard enough to get like regular people to vote, let alone like undocumented people, dude.
Yeah, and like I've never heard of an I've met. I mean,
because it doesn't happen. Why would you risk
going
your life
to go vote?
A vote that really doesn't matter. You know, one person.
Like whenever they're like, oh, they pay taxes and they get Social Security. I'm like, no. First of all, if someone is working and they have a purchased Social Security number or a purchased ID, that person is not filing their fucking taxes. I'll tell you that right now. If somebody
they're paying towards Social Security. They're just never ever going to get the benefits.
Yeah, they're never going to get the benefits. Most of them aren't going to file a tax return and try to get money back from the government with a fake fucking ID. It makes absolutely no sense. Like it's like if that was the case, we'd be catching them in droves because the system is set up for them to be caught doing shit like that. So, but I mean, yeah,
if they pay into the system, they are not beneficiaries of the system.
Yeah, I mean, there's people. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's like trying to. That's like driving, getting pulled over, and handing a cop your fake ID that says you're 22 when you're like 16.
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's not.
Okay, so undocumented people do not vote, or do not commit illegal votes, in any way that's significant whatsoever. However, it is a fact that people who vote Democratic are more likely not to have access to an ID, like poor people or old people. And so, like in Texas, a gun permit counts as an ID to vote. A college ID does not.
Oh yeah.
Why? Because college students vote Democratic, gun owners vote Republican. It's like so fucking blatant, like the game that they're playing. And so like for
Yeah.
Sticky to even like say anything to me, it's just like, dude, are you fucking? I thought you were smart.
Like concealed carry license is like more powerful than like a state issued driver's license or ID. If you have a kid, they're like, oh, that's fine.
Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, get on the plane. You own. Oh, you have a concealed.
You have it. You strapped right now? Cool. Get on the plane.
Yeah, get on the plane. Oh, it's tight, dude. Me too, man. Fuck yeah. They give us this one. My better one's in my car. Yeah. You know, in the prohibited zone outside. It's pretty tight. With the 3%er sticker on the back of my fucking truck. I've seen a lot. I've been seeing some wild Texas trucks too. There is the sticker collages, the racist sticker collages are epic right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a Lisa Frank book that was like, purchased by David Duke. It's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. For those of you who don't know, David Duke, former like figurehead of the Ku Klux Klan.
Grand Wizard.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
The Ku Klux Klan.
Sorry, I forgot he had magical powers.
Yeah.
I forgot his racism let him levitate and shoot fucking force lightning. Get the fuck out of here.
Donald Trump. He's a great guy.
Great guy. Good dude. Any gambling stories before we get into therapy questions?
No. This weekend, did the fam thing. Like hung out with the shorty.
And, I didn't gamble this week. I hung out with the family. Well, that's
not
good.
my family, but the shorty this weekend she had her son, but he plays lacrosse, so we went to his lacrosse games.
What does he play in lacrosse? What position?
He was playing both. Like he was playing forward, and then he was playing D at the end.
Okay, so yeah, all right, sweet. Always like be a midi because then you get to kind of do both and just run around all the time.
Yeah, Well, and then we went to Dave and Buster's.
On God.
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's is pretty tight.
Yeah, so that's actually where we had our first date.
It depends on like the location of the DBs, and then like what time. Because at certain times, like out here in Dallas, they'll turn into like clubs. It gets like really rowdy, gets super ratchet. Dave and Buster's can get ratchet real quick. So like when nobody's playing Guitar Hero, nobody's playing those, and everyone's just like standing around. It's like it's time to get the fuck out. Like we gotta go. Because there's anybody who's playing Guitar Hero at Dave and Buster's is not getting into a fight.
I wasn't gonna get in a fight, but I dropped like $50 on like some fried mozzarella and a quesadilla.
On Saturday, went to this black food festival.
Not a soul food festival?
I mean, I guess, but it wasn't even soul food. First of all, terrible. It was at
it was called a black food festival.
I guess, yeah. That's what it was supposed to be.
Like, was the food black or was it African Americans?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's African Americans, but it's Texas. So it's like this.
No, I'm just asking.
But it was at the state fairgrounds. Horrible, absolutely horrible. Yeah, first of all, it wasn't even like the Cotton Bowl. It was like the Cotton Bowl parking lot. The line was about an hour and a half long to get in. All these ratchets almost got in a fight with these people, cutting the line. I've been in line for an hour. These people are trying to jump in front of people. And it's like, nah, dude, the fucking back of the line's back there. There's some ratchet-ass auntie in a jumpsuit. Bro, I mean, it was so bad. And then you get in there and all the food was like birria tacos. Seafood. I was like, I'm not eating seafood from this truck.
What is with Berea nowadays? Like,
everybody, it's like, just like, I don't know, man, but I'll tell you that shit.
Everybody's just on it.
That shit just runs through you. So there was a big ass line.
It's fine, but it's like I don't get like why.
No, it's good, but I'm saying all that grease.
Why is the resurgence? Like Del Taco has a Berea ramen cup. Dude.
Yeah, they had Berea ramen. I was like, bro, if you were at the state fairgrounds eating Berea ramen, that is gonna be the longest day maybe before you leave. And a lot of y'all are in these like onesie jumpsuit romper fucking things like that does not come off easy.
Eating Berea in my romper.
Like they're gonna be blowing up those porta potties, bro. Like totally wasn't worth it. Not worth the hype. Won't go again. Never. I'm not. It was so fucking bad. So fucking bad. Yeah, there was some old heads trying to cut, and this dude with like fake grills in was like, "What are you gonna do about it?" Like, Because him and his whole, I'm dead serious, because his whole family's trying to cut the line. And it's like, yo, bro, the line's back there. And it just kept going. His girl's like, well, I know you ain't talking to me. Is that your kid right there? And I was like, no, that's not my kid. She was like, because I was going to say, you need to be talking to your kid then. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, it was the stupidest shit. It was so stupid, bro. It was so dumb. It was just like ratchet ass people, ratchet ass chicks wearing clothes they had no business wearing, eating like burrito gyros out of a fucking food cart in this little tiny ass area. It was the worst festival thing I've ever been to. It's like that's why the homie don't like to go to the state fair. That's why I don't like to go to shit like that, because it's just too many people. It's so disorganized, and we didn't even take tickets. So it's like, oh, euro, $25. And it was like horrible. It wasn't. And then you try to pick up the euro, and it just, the pita bread broke in half. It's like, what is this? You ain't even toast this shit. You didn't even heat it up.
Food festival.
Bruh, it was the blackest thing I've been
euros.
to. It's been the blackest thing I've been to in a while, because it was disorganized as fuck, bro. The coolest thing about it was the shops on Crip, on Grove Street. Therapy question, bruh. Is that your kid? No, it's not my kid. It was like, and this guy in front of me was like, it's my kid. This dude was wild. He's wearing this. I mean, shout out this dude, man. He was wearing a Chucky t-shirt, like an old school Chucky shirt. He had a shaved head but a mullet with like rat tails.
How many of my brothers with the caucasity were there?
There was a couple. There was this old white guy behind me, and whenever we were like, hey, get the fuck out of here, he was like, finally somebody said something, because I could tell he was like, bro, I am so outnumbered. If a black person doesn't say, hey, shut the fuck up right now, this shit's about to pop up, I'm gonna get stomped out. Like, this dude was like, he pulled up listening to Toby Keith wearing a straw hat. Like, that's what this dude looked like. And he was like, yeah, exactly, the line's back there. But the line was huge, bro. Like, it was crazy.
Is that your white guy voice, dude?
Absolutely. This is absurd. Look at all these people just thinking they can sneak their way through the front of the line. Who do they think they are? I own 3 Lexus dealerships, all right? I know.
Swear to God, dude, I'll go black on you, dude. Don't even test me. I'll just start repeating what you said to your lady, like pre-recording.
Yeah, you just got beer all over my new Sperry's.
Shut up.
These are $120 deck shoes. Therapy question number 1. And this is like loaded, because I mean, I feel like it's a yes, but should we be more leery of cops and what they present as facts?
Obviously, dude.
Why?
Like, what do you mean? Okay, how about this? Like, the fucking, like, they, like, shipped off, like, some gay barber to, like, the El Salvador prison, and they asked him, like what his tattoos meant. His tattoos say mom and dad, and he's like, yeah, I'm not in the gang. And they're, like, literally, like, writing, like, he's definitely in the gang, like, while he's saying it. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Now we can't get him back. Because we paid Bukele down in El Salvador to take him, dude. So
Mom is English for madre, and every MS-13 gang member has a madre or a mother. So, yep, check.
My mom's name in my phone is Madre from like the first time I put it in there when we were like 16.
Yeah.
Like hopefully I don't get arrested.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching this documentary on Netflix, so the first 2 are kind of about that, but I was watching 2 documentaries. But one of them is about the Long Island serial killer Lisk, or the Gil what's it called? The guy that they've just arrested. He's about to go on trial, but he like murdered a bunch of chicks on Long Island, and this kind of like ditched them on the beach. It's super fucking crazy story, and how inept the cops are, and just how fucking shitty the police force in Suffolk County is in New York. And yeah, I mean, the inherent, like, we just gotta trust cops because they're cops makes no sense to me. Never understood it. Like, I don't trust. I tell people, like, in certain situations at work, I'm like, don't trust me with your money like that. Like, you should count this shit. Like, count your stuff. Like, you should always be questioning stuff, especially authority, and you can't believe them implicitly, because people are bound to lie.
You should treat cops like today is April Fool's Day. That's what you should treat cops like, is like how you treat everybody on April Fool's Day. Like, a little suspicious, Like, they fucking with me? Is this a trick? Like that's how you should.
Is that
Like
a
with
real
cops.
fart or do you have a
Yeah,
fart
it's like
machine? Like, yeah, no, I mean, you should.
yeah,
I mean, it's
everything's sus with a cop, dude.
like right now I got a speeding ticket that I have to go to Temple, Texas to go fight because, you know, your boy cruising back to D-Town going a little fast. Cop was chill. There's a number that I can call on this ticket to deal with it over the phone. You know how many times I've called that number? 20. You know how many times it's been picked up? 0. It just rings and rings and rings and rings and rings until nothing. So it's honestly like, oh, you got to come all the way back to Temple. I'm sure they see that I got some Dallas-Fort Worth area code. They're like, oh, no, either he's going to show up on the 9th or like we're going to put out a warrant for his black ass. There's only like 2 options because like the system is set up for them to be believed, and that's why we shouldn't believe them. You know, like this inherent, what do they call it? The immunity that they have. There's a certain term for it.
Well, there's diplomatic immunity.
Well, there's diplomatic
immunity.
Well, they have something where it's like they're presumed innocent, like the Band of Brothers type shit. It's just they're all full of shit. Yeah, you can't. I'll trust a cop when I see them like save a baby from a fire. I'm like, hell yeah, I trust that guy.
Yeah, well, that's a firefighter.
Maybe. What if firefighter's on the way? A cop calls in the fire. He's like, I gotta go save this baby.
I'd rather go and save it than trust a cop.
Be like, no,
Like, bro,
you wait
bro,
here.
Bro, you just stay there.
And honestly, he'd probably be like, hey, just hang out. Fire department will be here in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, slow your roll. I dare you.
Okay.
Run in there and you're under arrest.
Bro, you gonna make me look bad now?
Yeah,
You're gonna go in there?
Do you want to be detained? Do you want to be detained? This is a
Wait
lawful.
for the
This is a
fucking
lawful.
firefighter.
Yeah, but I feel like as a society we've moved past that point. But the people who implicitly just believe cops because they're cops they're way more outspoken than they've ever been. Like back the blue, thin blue line. I'm like,
I
what?
guess, except for like Trump just like let a bunch of cop eaters out of jail. So
Yeah, but he loves cops. Come on, man. And because those people,
disdain for law enforcement, bro.
if they come for him, if they leave him alone, he's cool with it, you know. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Just leave me alone and we're good.
I'll never forgive Trump for making me support cops more than him.
Yeah, that is wild. He kind of flipped it on me. We're like, all cops are bastards. Fuck cops. And then we're like, oh shit, these cops are getting fucked up. Like somebody should do something. That's not right. Then I'm like, wait, god damn it, what did I just say?
I know, dude. Like out in Dallas, whenever that guy was like killing cops, man. I don't know, dude. Like I had mixed feelings, but like
that dude got taken out by a robot.
Robot bomb.
Yeah, a robot bomb.
Robot rolled a grenade and like.
Yeah, they did in like a parking garage. They just like drove that shit up. That's I think we've talked about it before. Shitty way to go. That'd be a death by robot.
Okay, but if you're out there committing a mass murder of police,
no,
like,
I know
you don't really get to like choose.
But
bro.
you like hunkered down. You're like, all right, this is it. This is my standoff. And then because there was like Christopher
Wally rolls over because like it literally I think looked. Like
yeah, it looked like a big ass Wally,
like weird,
and
like
it didn't have it didn't have like a gun or like a blow dart.
Drones being like
a blow dart. Anything cool, it just like
drops a grenade.
Just rolls it at you. That would be shitty. Especially if you saw it like
blew itself up. It
pull the pin. Especially if you saw it like pull the pin. It's like
and it's like sorry.
Yeah, your time has come. Like that would be like on by somebody's erector set. Yeah, that thing looked pretty primitive, and it wasn't making
Let us die together.
It wasn't rolling up. It wasn't rolling up quick either. But I'm saying that would suck because you've gone through all this trouble. You hunkered down. You barricade yourself in a parking garage. You're like, all right, hail of bullets. I'm going out with some glory. And then it's like, yeah, they send in a fucking Roomba with with a fucking landmine. A Roomba with a landmine, and it just like rolls up on you and pushes you onto it, so you step on it. Like that would be awful. No, I mean definitely a shitty dude for sure. Not he had it coming.
A brother, by the way.
Yeah, come on. There was that because there was a cop. There was a former LAPD officer, Christopher Dorner, and he went on some crazy shooting rampage
Oh,
in L.A. and killed some cops, and they like burned that motherfucker down in a cabin.
Yeah. He took off and he was like in some fucking. He took over some cabin and like had a standoff, and they just blew it up.
Yeah, they were like, oh, and they always like, oh, it was just we threw in some flashbangs, and somehow
No.
the whole structure just erupted in fire. And
they used every single bullet like available to like the police department.
And that one was wild because when they were looking for him, there was a family. I think it was like a mother and daughter or something driving in a blue Toyota Tacoma, and they thought it was him, like a laser blue Toyota Tacoma. Like that's what people who run from the cops drive around in. Like that's not noticeable. And they just drove by, and these cops just unloaded in this car, being like, "That's him!" And then they just started shooting, and then nothing happened. But they were like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry." It's our fault. It wasn't him. It wasn't a black guy. It was a Hispanic family. My bad, you guys. Moving along. I heard he's
crack a few eggs.
Heard he's in the woods. Let's go burn some cabins and find this motherfucker. See, but like, if you're gonna go out, that'd be much better than death by, Wally.
Oh yeah, get a couple like Hispanics killed like on the way.
No, they survived. I think they were fine. So you know what that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying is, but he was in a cabin. That you want to go Ruby Ridge. You want to go Waco. You'd want to go out like that. You don't want to.
I don't know about Waco.
You don't. Well, I mean, rather that than be like, oh, I'm Timothy McVeigh and I got pulled over leaving because I had no license plate on my car, and that's how I got arrested after the Oklahoma City bombing. Like that's like really that's how you got arrested. You were leaving, driving away, and you got pulled over in some bumfuck town, and you had for having no license plate. Like you'd think if you have a getaway car, you'd put a license plate. That's the equivalent with before robots of getting death by robot.
I saw this Tesla driving in front of me today, and like it's illegal to have like a case over your license plate in California.
Mm-hmm.
Like but this asshole did, but like his license plate like looked digital, and I was like, that'd be kind of a good like getaway car if you had like a license plate that like looked legit but it was actually digital and you could just switch the numbers.
See, that's some like transporter type shit where they like press a button and it rolls, or James Bond.
Yeah,
I've seen that. There's somebody I see every day, and you can't have those in Texas either. It's supposed to have a front license plate, back license plate, and they can't be covered. I mean, this bitch might as well have 5% tint over her license plates. I'm just like that's how I know. That's how I know you're a shitty driver. I know you're a shitty driver, and you just blow through tolls because you have 5% tint over both of your license plates. Like, how have you not been pulled over? How has nobody made you take that off? Although these new paper license plates are out of control because in Texas, it's like, oh, no, you don't really have to have one. And, like, so there's people driving around with no license plates. Like, just none. Just cruising around with nothing on the back of their car, nothing on the front of their car. Or it's like, I've seen one where they had a paper license plate taped over their actual license plate. I'm like, what? How is this? Am I the only person seeing this? I feel like cops used to pull people over all the time. Yeah. Like, your inspection's out.
Yeah.
Tags expired. And I'm like, this motherfucker rolling around with no headlights at night with no license plates. And
to be fair, the registration of my car expired in January, and I haven't got it updated yet.
The only time I've updated it is when my complex is like, updated or we're towing your car. I'm like, all right, bet. And then I'll go get it taken care of. Other than that, I don't give a shit. Because, I mean, whatever.
I'm usually on top of it, and then I just, like, missed it this year. And then the shorty was like, your, like, registration's expired. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I did that in November.
I had a cop be like, that your shit's not up to date, but I had a crack in my windshield at the time. I was like, I'm going to get taken care of. I got to get the windshield taken care of first. He's like, no, that makes sense. You don't want to put that sticker on twice. Get out of here. I was like, all right, peace. Thanks, bro. Bet. Let's go. But yeah, don't trust cops. Unless you see them do some heroic shit, then I trust a cop. You know what I'm saying? Like, save a brother. Like, you could see why Lil Wayne trusts cops, because he's like, hey, I almost died. Cop saved my life. I got shot. Cop saved my life. Didn't have to. So that makes sense, because he's got a story. He can explain.
He didn't get shot. He accidentally shot himself.
Oh, okay. Then that's just dumb.
He was like 10.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's a dumb kid. Therapy question number 2. Would you go on a treasure hunt, modern day treasure hunt, or do you think that's a waste of time? Would it be a waste of your time?
I mean, are all treasure hunts created equal here? Like, I don't know. Like,
So
I need to know the deets.
So there was this guy named Forrest Fenn, and he like hid treasure in the Rocky Mountains for like, took people like 10, 11 years to find it. It was like $2 million worth of gold and jewels. He wrote some book and with some little like poem in it that had all these clues in it, and somebody finally found it. There's a really interesting documentary on it, right, that just came out on Netflix, and this one dude built another treasure box. I was like, yo dog, I just threw a bunch of treasure out in the middle of nowhere. There's all these clues in this documentary to where you can find it. If you watch this and pay attention, you can figure out where this treasure is. I totally would do that. That's some like old rich white man shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna just go.
How much is the treasure worth?
It'd be a couple mil.
Yeah, I'd go after a couple mil.
I mean, the different people that would go looking for this treasure was crazy. There was like this family from Wyoming, lived in a trailer, like two sons and a dad, and they spent like 2 years in the mountains looking for this shit, and they didn't find it. Then there was like somebody's mom or somebody's aunt who was just like, oh, this is what I do. Like the random ass people that go on treasure hunts. It made me be like, damn, bro, I want to kind of go on a treasure hunt. That'd be cool as fuck. I'd be tight. I would totally go do that, especially like I think that's something.
If there's like actual treasure.
Yeah, no.
Had.
No, I mean, I'm not saying like on some archaeology shit. Like I'm just gonna go into.
Like, I'm talking about that booty.
Yeah, it's gotta be worth it. I wouldn't, do it without having something involved. And this one guy, he doesn't find it, but he finds where it was second. And this dude's like fucking loaded, dude. You ever watch this documentary? His computer setup puts mine to shame. He opens up the safe. This dude's got...
real quick. The shorty's son, he commented on your computer system. He thinks it's super cool.
Yeah, all white Corsair. Let's go, bro. A white build. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, 3 screens, son. A lot of time I built it myself from scratch. So it was not put together when I got it.
Always saw the supercomputer, and I was like, he's like, that's what you were recording from? He's like, doesn't your co-host have like a computer that he built? And I was like, yeah.
A rig. He's like, doesn't he have a whole rig? And you're like,
I forget what he said.
Yeah, probably. But shout out, bro. Thanks, man. It's pretty tight. Hey, if it was like, I'd go on some Indiana Jones type shit if it was like Indiana Jones treasure. But this dude, man, so he's like, oh, I like to collect stuff. This dude opens up this safe. He's just got like booklets of rubies and shit. Like this dude he's like, oh, I'm a computer program software engineer. I'm like, bro, you invented the word algorithm. This guy's got so much fucking money. And he took a bunch of his stuff, put it in a box, and then just left it somewhere for people to go find it.
My dad paid me $20 a chapter to read a book called The Advent of the Algorithm. And it was written by the guy who Beautiful Mind was about. Yeah.
Was it boring?
I forgot.
Yeah,
like,
must not have been that good.
I was in 7th grade. It's like a fucking book about math.
Yeah, that's lame. Book about math? Get out of here. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't want to do some like... But now, would you want to do land, or would you do like ocean? Would you want to go look for like a Spanish galleon full of coins, or do you want to go like hike in the woods and find treasure? Because I feel like there's different types of treasure hunting. So you could be aquatic with it. You could be like a desert.
I feel like the ocean like has like a better chance of like hiding like amazing, like real ass treasure. But it seems like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, there couldn't really be that many clues to something.
I mean, I do like to watch Bering Sea Gold, where they just go into the Bering Sea and like mine gold from the sea floor with like a vacuum.
Yeah, see, that's come on, bro. That's like, I'm outside catching butterflies and you just have a net the size of your yard and you're just like swinging it around. And you're like, look, I got one. You'd be like, yeah, no shit. Look at how big that, like, you're just
no.
vacuuming up the ocean floor. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
But it's like the nozzle's not that big.
You're still vacuuming shit up and just seeing what it is later. That's like the equivalent of panning for gold.
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but see, I want to be like, okay, there's this gold statue of a house cat that's somewhere in this mountain. Let's go find this shit. Okay. That would be cooler. Because in the ocean,
is it buried or is it just left there?
The other one was just left there. And what's crazy is the guy who didn't find it was like, I went him and his brother went looking, and he's like, in 2016 we were here, like where this guy found it, and I rested maybe 20 feet from where this box of all this treasure was, and I never saw it. I walked by it at least 5 times. He figured out like the riddle, he figured it all out, and this old man was just like, yeah, I buried all this fucking treasure, and he wrote a book about it, about himself, with a poem in it that told you where the treasure was, as like kind of like a ploy to sell the book, I guess, but it blew the fuck up, and then it was actually real. But the ocean, there's only so many clues you could get. That's where it's like you're just gonna be like, I'm just sailing around looking for sunken shit. That would be kind of lame, right?
Yeah.
But like at least if there's like, oh, we got to go find this rock that's split in 2 and then take a left over here, that would be a little bit more adventurous.
And I don't want to be caught up like on a submersible, you know, with like a fucking GameCube controller and then just have it blow up.
Yeah, that wouldn't be worth it. See, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be more dangerous to do it at sea, but you could find some cool shit.
Everything's more dangerous at sea, obviously.
Except for swimming.
What?
I don't know. But yeah, I'd definitely be land.
Swimming in the sea is the
I'd
most
be
dangerous of all.
I'd be land, but I wouldn't want to do any of that desert shit. Like you know.
No, you'd want to be landed. Like you can't swim.
I can. I was on the Southridge Lake swim team, baby. Let's go. No kickboard needed. But I can't float. Can't float.
What?
I can't float.
What does that even mean?
People can lay on their back and float. I can't do it. Too thick. My booty sinks, man. I just go straight down, bro.
Not with that attitude.
I had a better attitude about it back in the day, and I was like, this shit ain't happening. Quit asking me to do it. I'm just going to go on the diving board. Therapy question number 3. If you had to be a Jedi or a Sith, which would you be and why?
I think you've asked this before. I don't
No,
know.
I haven't.
Jedi.
Really?
Obviously. Yeah, you did ask this, but I'd be like a cool ass Jedi.
What color would your lightsaber be?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Blue.
Blue? See, if I was going to be a Jedi, it'd be green, for sure. Or I'd have one of those yellow ones, because there's Jedis that aren't, they're like kind of in between. They're just like neutral. They like don't really give a fuck. And they have yellow ones. But I mean,
Wait, so the color of your lightsaber like reflects your ideology?
Well, you have your crystal that like the, what is it? Kyber crystal that you have to like whatever, and then it breaks and it becomes some color that you have to put in there. Siths are always like red or some dark color. I mean, I just wouldn't really be down with the red. But you would have cooler powers, cooler force powers if you were a Sith. That's when you get like lightning and shit, and you can like do a bunch of wild shit. That would be kind of cool. So I don't know. A Sith would be tight, but you just have to be angry all the time.
Elon's a fucking Sith, bro.
You'd be angry all the time though, and that's the only like downside. You could never like chill the fuck out. You couldn't be happy.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. All right, Jedi. You are Elon's new PR guy. Where would you start to fix his public image? This is therapy question number 4.
Well, I would get him out of Hot Topic.
He's at Zoomies more. It's more Zoomies.
Is
But
it?
yeah, it's
I
probably.
thought it was a German tank commander outfit, actually, like that he wears. But yeah, seriously, like I fucking make him dress like an adult. I would have him talk like a normal person, and then stop fucking with the government, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'd start with like, I'd make him do a press conference where he's just like,
Admits that he, you know what? Like, to be honest, like if if this is what we're calling an audit, turns out that the federal government, not a lot of waste. You know, these guys found like what, like $2 billion or something.
yeah, it's
Like,
not. It's nothing.
turns out, shit's like working pretty efficiently.
Shit turns out maybe the military,
if he
military budget's overinflated. Of
Yeah,
all
well,
things,
obviously,
who saw
it's
that coming?
overinflated.
Who
Yeah.
saw that coming?
But I'm just saying, like, yeah. So if he would just admit that he didn't know what he was doing, and he fucked up, I mean, dude, this is PR crisis 101 shit, dude. It's you admit that you fucked up, and and then you come up with steps to rectify the situation.
Yeah, you get him out of government, but I mean,
Obviously.
I think you start with like getting him to either admit or denounce all the Nazi shit. Like, look, bro, if you're gonna be a Nazi, just own it, and if you're not, you have to say it and you have to mean it, and you got to say you fucked up. Then I get him.
Stop with the Nazi jokes. Like, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, like, hey, whoa. We saw that coming, and you needed to knock it the fuck off.
Wasn't it not that long ago where it was just like, don't ever compare anybody to Hitler, or just like to Nazis. It's like that's just like it's just so insane. And then he's just out here making Nazi jokes after making Nazi salutes.
Yeah, so I'd have him denounce that. I'd have him admit. I'd have him like be like, look, I'm gonna be a better dad and actually talk to my kids, and stop knocking up all these random broads, and then having Twitter arguments with him. What did he say the other day? He's like, I don't know if the kid's mine or not, but I'm just gonna pay this girl $2.5 million, and then I'm gonna give her $500K a month moving forward, even though I don't know if she had my kid or not. This Ashley St. Clair chick. He did that. He said that on Twitter, and then
Recently?
Yes, and then on Twitter she's
But
like,
I thought he was doing all IVF, so how the fuck would he not know?
I don't know. And then she was like, hey, look, we've tried to get you to do like paternity to prove if you're the parent or not, and you refuse. Like, what are you doing? Basically, he's like having this Twitter spat with a woman the most recent woman who had his kid, who he's not sure if it's his or not, but I'm going to give her $2.5 million and then give her $500K every month moving forward. And she's like, I don't give a fuck about your money. Like you said.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Well, I'm sure that helps, but she's also like, admit that it's your kid, because you know it's your fucking kid. See, I would start basic. The Doge stuff is bad enough, but all it's done is highlight how scummy of a person he actually is. So I'd have him admit to being a scummy person from the jump. Like,
I mean, the fact that he even needs PR is retarded in itself. Like, it's like, dude, like, you're not a celebrity. Like, I mean, I guess you are now, but like, if a celebrity as in like you're famous, but like,
quit pretending to be good at video games. We know you're not, dude. We know you're not. If you're that busy, you don't have time to get that good at Path of Exile. That game's really hard. He posted another video. It was a live stream of him, and it's totally him playing pre-recorded gameplay and him sitting there like clicking, and the clicks don't even match what the fuck he's doing.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm dead serious. X is crazy. This dude is I mean, I want to get rid of it so bad, but to watch this like just Leviathan eat itself is so.
He's playing pre-recorded video games on camera to show people that he can play video games.
Because there was the whole thing where he was like, I'm one of the highest rated players in the world, and then it came out that
he's taking it this far.
Yeah. He's done it before, and then he was like, "Oh, look how good I am at Diablo." It's like Diablo's.
Yeah, all right, ladies, if you're all gonna be having Elon's baby, can you just start fucking him so like that, like he can stop?
Just like 1v1 him in some Smash Bros or something, and if he wins, you have his kid.
The IVF's not working. He needs to get like, what is the problem? Like he.
How do you have IVF?
Insane,
like, is that my kid?
Man in the world, dude. Like you got the drugs to like. To soothe you. Like, why do you need to do this to yourself?
That's just like, oh yeah, I don't know if it's my kid or not, but we did IVF, and she got pregnant, but
I gave her my sperm.
Is it mine? Yeah, I don't know, but here's $3 million. Like, what
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. If you're gonna be like a bad dad, and not saying he is, but Anthony Edwards, he plays.
No, I'm saying he is. He's a fucking terrible father.
I'm not saying that this person is, but Anthony Edwards, superstar basketball player, plays for the Timberwolves. Got this girl pregnant. She took the kid. She had it. He didn't want to have the kid. He paid all of the child support up front. He's like, I'm going to pay her 214 months worth of child support in one lump sum up front to be fucking done with it. I think, and he said something.
Okay, but he also texted her like,
here you go, bitch. I think that's what he said.
No, but before, when she was pregnant, he was like, He's like, "Yo, gotta kill the baby." It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
he's sending like emojis of like killing the
yes,
fucking
no.
fetus, dude.
And then at court, he's like, "Here's all the money." He said, "Here you go, bitch."
And this is supposed to be our next Michael Jordan, by the way.
Yeah, that's some Michael Jordan-esque shit, though. Let's be real.
I guess so. Yeah. You're right.
I mean, at least he's not like he's not addicted to gambling yet.
You're
but
or that we know of.
But at least he's like, yeah, that's my kid. Here's all the money. He goes. I think he said, "Here you go, bitch." I think that's exactly what he said whenever he paid her, which is like, at least he's like, that's my kid. Elon Musk won't even admit it's his kid. He won't even admit.
That's like Chris Rock's like, "Oh, I take care of my kids." It's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
No, definitely.
Anthony Edwards credit because he admits that he has a kid.
But he made the kid, and if he was like that's not my kid. At least he'd have a better case than we did IVF, and this is my child. That's what I'm saying. Is that he's not denying the kid. He just didn't want to have it, and he paid for it. This dude had a baby made in a lab. And with a woman,
and now he's being a dick about it.
And now he's being a dick about it and questioning if it's his or not. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
These really are like the worst people in the world.
No, there's a slew of terrible dads walking around right now.
No, I'm saying Elon is like
oh,
up
he's
there.
He's
just like checks box after box of just like terrible fucking dickwad.
But he's on the spectrum.
So the fuck what, dude? It's so are all of us.
He's quirky.
Right?
He's a genius, all right? Geniuses are quirky. He's just being quirky.
No, get him the fuck out, dude. Deport him.
Right? I think Trump said something about deporting people with dual citizenships that don't pay taxes.
Done. Let's go. We'll start in order. Richest to poorest.
Yeah, I'm down. That'd be epic. That'd be so funny to watch, man. I mean, he's essentially... He has like a sovereign citizen type approach to shit where they're like, okay, we're here to talk about child support, and I'm here with Andy, and you're like, well, I'm not Andrew Schultz. My name is not in all caps like it's presented on the birth certificate, so I'm not in your jurisdiction of paying child support. Like, he's like that fucking ridiculous. He's clown shoes. He's so far gone that I mean, PR to change his public image, you got to start with the public shit that we know about. Excluding the government shit, he'd have to own it all and be like, I'm a scumbag. I'm a piece of shit. He'd have to take that.
Okay, here we go. Perfect.
Robert Downey style. Like,
no, how about delete your Twitter account?
Well,
boom.
And side note, sold Twitter to himself, like I told you he was going to do. I told you because he was about to default on the loans and they were about to snatch that shit from him. So he sold it to get rid of it and
sold it to his AI company, XAI.
Yeah, so now it's not him. Now XAI owns it, which has a higher value. So I mean, the whole thing was goofy, but he did.
And now XAI is worth $110 million or $1 billion.
Of course. I don't think we need a break. I think we can keep going.
All right.
I think you'll survive.
All right. Well, the first article was just about the Wisconsin stuff that we already talked about. So we'll go to the next one. This is from the Wall Street Journal by Alicia McElhaney. 23andMe's site went down as customers struggled to delete data. DNA testing company's site has been tough to navigate in wake of bankruptcy, raising concerns about what happens to personal and family health histories. The login portal of 23andMe's website went down on Monday evening as customers of the DNA testing company rushed to delete their genetic data after it filed for bankruptcy. Earlier in the day, people trying to log in faced long wait times and error messages and had to make repeated attempts to receive confirmation that the request had been received. By Monday evening, consumers at the customer service chatbot gave a message that read the company was receiving a high volume of inquiries and increased web traffic. The chatbot directed customers to try reaching out again later. Sounds like your Temple, Texas ticket there.
I used 23andMe back in the day when I was searching for my birth parents. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Some 23andMe users have sought unsuccessfully to delete the data of deceased family member, and many expressed uncertainty about whether or how they would receive confirmation that the data had been deleted. Several also said they have heightened interest in what happens to their data because of a password hack at the company in 2023 that exposed information belonging to 6.9 million people. Those who request for deletion were processed received an email from the company that said, Your data is being deleted, followed by an added detail. Your account will no longer be accessible and will be deleted per your request. 15 million customers DNA.
I mean, they already have that shit, dude. This is how they've caught. This is how, like, with the Lisk killer, they've tracked down some of these Jane Does and John Does and people that bodies they couldn't identify. At Ancestry.com, 23andMe. That's how they caught the original Night Stalker or the Golden Gate Killer, by using the information from this and using genealogy and being like, okay, they're obviously from this family tree and it's one of these 4 people. So let's go talk to those 4 people and get their DNA. So they've been like, if they were worried about the government having access to that shit, they've had that for an extremely long time, because that's been how they've been solving cold cases. Is they use this information.
I don't think it's the government, is it?
Well, police forces, yeah.
No. I just mean like what people are worried about now.
I mean, if somebody's going to find out that you're genetically predisposed to having diabetes, I mean, I don't know how that's really going to help you, like, open up a credit card in my name. But I would.
But Elon being like in the Social Security department, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit with him and his boy Big Balls in there.
Yeah, Big Balls. I forgot about Big Balls.
But I mean, I think that's just hyper panic. I mean, deleting old people's information, that totally makes sense. People that have passed away, for sure. But at the end of the
sure.
I mean, if you just don't want that information for somebody who's not around, but it's not like they're taking people's information and cloning you, or it's not like the information that's given through that is going to necessarily, because you don't put
can like haunt you.
You don't put any purchase information or anything in. When I did it, it was old school, so you had to, like, they mail you a box, you spit in a fucking tube, and you mail it off. Now, if I go on a murdering spree, they could potentially use that to track me down, but I still couldn't find my birth mom with that shit, so I don't really know how it's gonna help anybody with anything.
Like, wouldn't she also have to do it?
Yeah, I found a first cousin. So yeah, yes, but you can kind of track and see where, like, what your family, narrow things down based upon stuff with it. But I mean, I'd be more worried about the shit in, like, Ancestry.com. That's way more intense, because there's, like, documents people upload and all sorts of stuff. This has mostly told me that I'm more Irish than I am black. Let's go. 55%.
Same.
55% broadly Northern European. I'm Irish and I'm from Kensington. Let's go. Basically, my map was essentially, I was like, I've seen this chart before, and it was in history class when they taught me about slavery. That's basically all I could really, because it was like sub-Saharan African, and it was like Corte de Ivory, and I was like, oh, I could just see a ship, and then I could. So, but I don't think it's the end of the world. That information exists. Anybody who would want access to that already has it. Anything that could be used for nefariously, I don't really know. But what I would say is, if they want to find out if your great grandma had glaucoma, you're going to find more stuff in Ancestry.com, and one of those other ones that are much more detailed, have much more backstory. That one just tells you, like, hey, heads up, there's this health concern in your family, or hey, there's this, that, and
I
the
feel
other.
like that all, like, any concerns that you would have already had.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm like, please, like, whatever. Like, if you want to learn about my heritage, I'm 2% other. I have very little Neanderthal in me, which is great, but that's, a black thing. Black people don't have a lot of Neanderthal DNA in them. I was below average. Ay. But it does. It broke it down, and it was. I don't. No, like, we have less. You would probably have more Neanderthal DNA.
I have no Neanderthal.
How do you know?
Because my dad took a DNA test.
A 23andMe?
Yeah.
Okay, tight. Hell yeah. So
it was just like a blob on Ireland.
So you're in the system too. So if you if you go on a murdering spree and they test the DNA and it comes back and they're like, yo, this person's obviously one of Dutch's kids, they'd know. That's what I'm saying, is they can use that information and that DNA information and put it up against what they have, and they can see if it's like you're maternal or paternally related to that person. That's honestly how they've been solving cold cases for about the past 10 years. So it's not like it's something that's fucking new. It's, them giving up the information. So if anybody's going to snatch this shit up, it's going to be the government. But they got in trouble because they were originally a non-profit, and then they tried to move towards a for-profit company, and that's when shit got really weird with 23andMe, whatever their president tried to kind of change the model, almost like OpenAI, but with people's spit.
Well, yeah. I just got a notification. Dark alert, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Val Kilmer just died.
No, bro. No.
Iceman, dude.
Heat. Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Batman Returns was so good besides Two-Face with Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones was just like hyperbolic, but Jim Carrey as the Riddler, that movie's so tripped out. Go watch Batman Returns and you'll love it. Then go back and watch it on mushrooms and you'll be like, bro, like this is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Damn, that sucks, bro. But he's been battling like throat cancer, all sorts of stuff. He's had tons of health issues. So that's not, honestly, I'm surprised he's lasted this long. But damn, man, Val Kilmer was a G. He was a fucking real one. He's
65.
A real one, dude. We lost a real one. Damn, that fucked me up. I fucked my day up, man.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, you didn't kill him. And if you did, we'll find out.
23andMe.
Yeah, 23andMe. You killed Val.
Do you want to talk about the Tate fuckwads?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. These guys are douchebags. I love talking about these assholes.
Next article, Vanity Fair by Dan Adler. The full-fledged return of Andrew Tate. In recent months, the influencer and alleged sex trafficker has reemerged as a ubiquitous force, just as the ecosystem that he shaped is under increasing scrutiny. On Thursday, so this is last week Thursday, we're recording this on Monday, Brianna Stern, a Los Angeles model and influencer, accused Andrew Tate of physical and sexual abuse in a lawsuit filed in California Superior Court. Even by the standards long set by the avowed misogynist, the complaint offered a harrowing picture of his alleged conduct. Stern claimed that Tate beat her over the course of a 10-month relationship, including during a recent stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel, where, according to the suit, he beat and choked her until she nearly lost consciousness, leading her to be diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome. Further details in Stern's suit allege that the pattern of control that put Tate's online rhetoric into more concrete reality. The complaint said that Tate asked Stern to get a tattoo reading "Property of Tate," something he allegedly required of former girlfriends, and that he once texted her, "What's the point in having you if I don't beat you and impregnate you?" Jesus. Stern said in the suit that she reported the incident to the police, and a criminal investigation is reportedly underway. Vanity Fair has reached out to the Beverly Hills Police Department for confirmation of the police report and investigation. Tate has denied the claims, with his lawyer accusing Stern of seeking personal gain, notoriety, and financial benefit through her relationship with Tate. We implore the public and the media to refrain from premature judgments until all the facts are established and to resist the temptation to amplify the self-serving narrative of an individual seemingly more interested in profit than in justice, Tate's lawyer added. The allegations represent the latest installment of the online personality's return to the fore of American life. For some 2 years, Tate and his brother Tristan, who are dual U.S.-UK citizens, had been on and off house arrest in Romania, where they faced charges of human trafficking and establishing a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. Tate has also been charged with rape, and the brothers deny all allegations against them. While Tate's reputation never dissipated, it seemed plausible that the extensive recognition of his views and the legal jeopardy in which he had found himself could temper his influence. Instead, Tate returned to the U.S. in February, shortly after Donald Trump resumed office. The president's administration reportedly may have played a role in Romanian authorities' decision to lift a travel ban on Tate and his brother. When asked about the matter at the White House, Trump said he knew nothing about it. Upon landing in Florida, Tate boasted of his relationship with the Trump family, saying he had spoken to the president's 19-year-old son, Barron, following the attempted assassination of Trump in Pennsylvania in July.
So, for those of you who don't know who Andrew Tate is, that's wild, but he is an influencer, former kickboxer, calls himself the Cobra. Then he became real famous because he was on like the British Big Brother. Yeah. But he fled to Romania because of abuse and rape allegations in Romania. I mean, in England. He can't go back to the UK without getting arrested. Bounced over there, runs some crazy cam girl thing where he like gets these girls to, some of them underage in American terms, gets them, like, coerces them, romances them, gets them to fall in love with them, moves them out there, then makes them work as cam girls at this, like, compound that he has. him and his brother. They've been doing this for years. He's made tons of money doing it. He also has this like stupid alpha male fucking dumb like course that you can pay that's like, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars.
And yeah, you go and like yeah, dude, I heard about that shit where it's like a camp and they like beat each other up and like wrestle. And,
he's been surrounded by controversy and been surrounded by allegations of being shitty to women and using women, abusing women, disrespecting them in public forums and private. There's a video release of him with an ex-girlfriend, and all. What's crazy is all these girls will come out after the fact. There's a video of him like beating some girl up, hitting her with a belt and all sorts of stuff, calling her names, and then she's like, oh no, we were just like playing around. And it's like all these like girls that are kind of on his payroll. So it's interesting that they'll have these accusations and then normally they disappear because he pays them off to go away. But they got charged with sex trafficking and a bunch of other issues in Romania. This was years ago. They got blocked up for a couple months and they got released, but they were on a travel ban.
In like house arrest.
And house arrest. They live in this massive compound, so they couldn't leave. They couldn't go anywhere. He'd talk about, because he would openly mock the Romanian justice system. So whenever he was being charged with it, he's like, oh, they're not going to do shit. These people are fucking stupid. And then they threw him in prison. So the Romanian government had no interest in letting him go anywhere, do anything. And then obviously Trump made a push to get him out. That's when Ron DeSantis was like, they're not welcome in Florida. Pretty sure they wound up in Florida.
Yeah, I told you.
They were like in Mar-a-Lago, and now they're just like wandering around the U.S., kind of just being douchebags. Like there's a, what's it called? Is it Adolescence? I haven't watched it yet, but there's some big that's based around this like red pill movement. So he would be like the fucking Morpheus of the red pill movement, where he just like converts people into this. If you're dating a guy who's obsessed with Andrew Tate, big red flag.
Run.
Yeah, run. I mean, I know people who were in relationships, their boyfriends got into Andrew Tate, and then their relationship ended up not working out because their dudes just do like a 180, like just toxic misogyny to the max. Not even to use like a trigger or a buzz term like that, but that's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
It's super fucking gross. The fact that they were allowed here is laughable. That Trump had something to do with it, not surprising at all. What is it?
Yeah, I was telling the shorty, she was asking me about him, and I was like, these are like they're the type of dudes, and I think this was actually Nick Fuentes who said it, which was it was like your body, my choice, but it's like that's the type of dudes that we're talking about here.
Ron. Yeah, what does it say? Florida governor said that the brothers were not welcome in Florida, and Barstool founders Dave Portnoy, who's not my favorite. Dave Portnoy is, I guess he's all right.
He's fine.
He's okay. Like yeah. I've liked him more with time.
I'm never gonna watch any of his shit, but like he doesn't like bother me.
No, I mean I think there was a period of time where he kind of did bother me because I was like, this guy's just an arrogant prick, and I really can't stand him. But what did he say on X? He's, what's the point of booting out illegals and criminals while somehow becoming a safe haven for the Tate brothers? Which is true. Doesn't make any sense. It's the ultimate hypocrisy. So we're going to ship gay hairdressers off to El Salvadorian prison, but we're going to let a bunch of Romanian cam girl women abusers, sex traffickers into the country with our blessing. It makes no sense. Like, I mean,
they are UK citizens or US citizens, right?
I don't think so.
They said they're like US, UK dual citizens.
I mean, they might be. I mean, but they can't go back to the UK for the same reasons why they left Romania. So they can't go back home because if they do, at least I don't know about his brother, but
yeah, they said that Tate and his brother Tristan, who are dual US UK citizens.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I didn't even know you're allowed to be a dual citizen with the United States. First of all,
but I thought but Trump's talking about deporting all the dual citizens, so hey, you don't pay taxes. So I mean, we'll see. It's super fucking cringe that they were allowed over here and that the government lobbied for them to be released. I mean, if you don't know who they are, look them up, do your research. You can find a clip of this dude sitting there with his bald ass head with no shirt, smoking a cigar in a room, running his mouth about how stupid women are. I think he's gotten better about it because some of the stuff he said got them in legal trouble. They were already in trouble and being investigated, and then this like quadrupled down on it and mocking the government, mocking women, mocking these women who have allegations about them was pretty wild. But I mean, there's some damning shit out there. Videos, damning messages where they're, you know, grooming and soliciting stuff from minors, like really bad stuff. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
After, there's the thing here. The new Netflix series Adolescence tells the story of a 13-year-old British boy who is arrested for murder of a female classmate after falling into an online ecosystem built in Tate's image. The show has broken several viewership records while illustrating in bracing fashion warnings issued by educators and law enforcement officials in recent years, which is true. I mean, you know, you could say what you want about girls, say what you want about dudes. That type of ecosystem that they use, but that's a great way to describe it, is so detrimental, and it's so easy for young boys to fall into that trap. You know, I genuinely think unless you're like a total sociopath, most boys start out really sweet. They get their hearts broken a couple times. They, you know, pursue a girl or something, and the girl and all of her friends laugh at them or all sorts of stupid shit, and then dudes become a little bit edgy. This is like grabbing those kids and like quadrupling down on that and just making them feel like it's everybody else's fault. I mean, this is like incel type shit.
But it's also just a false fucking idea of what masculinity is.
No,
you know,
definitely.
Masculinity is not fucking taking advantage of women and exploiting like minors, dude. It's like protecting fucking women. It's providing for fucking women. Like, it's not, you know, it's not this like macho bullshit, dude. Like, and it's gross. It's like this shit's like anti-masculine, dude. The way that these like fucking like this like bro podcast like atmosphere, like, you know, that like it's so distorted. It's like it's because these guys are like fucking incels, dude. Like that, you know, it's like they don't even know how to behave like a man, but they're here to tell you that like this is what a man's like, and it's not.
No, that's I mean that's not like it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like I want to say like a shortcut, but it's not even that. It's just like so egregiously narrow-minded, and it's like the way that they are structuring these young boys to think is it's like disregard everybody else's feelings. You don't play in a role in it. It's everybody else's fault. It's the polar opposite of what you would say is like toxic femininity or whatever, where it's like every man should pay for everything and you shouldn't have to do shit and yada yada. But it's like the polar opposite. But whenever you do that, especially when you're grabbing these young boys, these boys don't have emotional control. They're learning this shit on the fly, and they're trying to handle their emotions, and the only emotion they identify with is like getting angry. That's like with these incel dudes. So it's like, oh, women don't like me, so what the fuck's wrong with me? I need to be taught how to be an alpha male. And alpha males treat everybody around them like shit. No, that's not it at all. Like there's and it's not like chivalry's dead, but there's no like, you have to have such little self-respect for yourself and for other people to treat people like that. And these dudes are catalysts for it. These guys are like setting it ablaze. They are like the Nick Fuentes of being a shitty person and be treating women like shit. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy they've been allowed to operate this long, that it's become so popular. And you see these young streamers will have them on, chit chat with him, interview him, think it's fucking cool, and it's not. It's like thinking that it's like idolizing the bully at school. It's so fucking weird.
That's like what this country is turning into. It's fucking weird. It's like everybody who's in charge is like people who my dad would tell me not to be like when I grow up.
Yeah, exactly. And oh my God, the Tate brothers are people you would never want your kids to associate. If you watch this and you have kids and your kids listen to Andrew Tate, like, it's like, you know, listening to Alex Jones. I mean, but like violent towards women. Like, the women are objects, and that's just basically what they say. I'm an alpha. All these women and all these people around me are objects and pawns in my game. And if you don't want to play my game, then fuck you. And that's so detrimental to society. It's setting up a whole generation of kids for failure, for loneliness, and to just be even more angry. It's just going to compound over time. find that 13-year-old angry boy like in adolescence and show me that kid at 28. He's not going to be any better if he's still staying on that trajectory. That those are like, we're raising like wife beaters. It's fucking crazy. And it's just like, we're just giving them a platform. And the president, of course, the perv in chief, is just giving them a pass. And so then it's like, well, the president does that. So a lot of the people that are Andrew Tate fans love Donald Trump.
Yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, you know, because those are like two peas in a pod.
Fake ass fucking macho machismo bullshit. Dude.
Yeah, it's fucking frightening. That
small dick energy.
I mean, I was happy when they might be put in prison. I know he and his followers will insult and attack me, she wrote. I don't care, I speak the truth. And it's true. I mean, Puff, we'll see with P. Diddy, because P. Diddy's obviously a creepazoid and all that stuff. P. Diddy didn't say shit like this in public. So but P. Diddy's a scumbag. R. Kelly was a scumbag. They were doing scummy ass shit, but they projected a public image of like, oh, I'd never do that. Andrew Tate's like that.
R. Kelly did?
Yeah, I'd say he tried to, and then when it kind of blew up, whenever we didn't know he had like girls in cages and all sorts of weird stuff. He tried. People covered for him. His public.
Okay, you're right. He wasn't on a podcast talking about putting like pissing on chicks.
Yeah, as where Andrew Tate's like, no, this is what I do.
Right,
like,
right.
And that's where it's frightening, is like the blatant, out in the open about it. Like, don't give a fuck. I mean, Dana White of all.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like it's like the guys with the fucking tiki torches. They don't even feel like that they, at least back in the day, the Ku Klux Klan like were ashamed of themselves and they would wear a fucking hood. It's like now they don't even feel like they need to wear hoods anymore. Do they go on a podcast and tell you that they're in the KKK?
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
All right. Next article from the Wall Street Journal by Vicky J. Hung. The Trump family advances its all-out crypto blitz, this time with Bitcoin mining. A business led by two of the president's sons will invest in American Bitcoin, a new mining company controlled by Hut 8. Just think I'm going to continue with the article, but just think if Sasha, Emilia Obama, and Chelsea Clinton all got together and started a crypto company while Barack Obama was president. Just imagine that happening. And how people would react. Okay. The president's two oldest sons are investing in a Bitcoin mining company, adding to the Trump's family's expanding portfolio of cryptocurrency businesses. Eric Trump and DJ TJ, that's Donald Trump Jr., Jr.'s American data centers will merge with and take 20% stake in American Bitcoin, a mining operation majority owned by Hut 8. The publicly traded crypto infrastructure company. Together, they aim to create the world's largest miner of the digital currency, with designs on building its own Bitcoin reserve. In a matter of months, the Trump started a decentralized finance, or DeFi, project called World Liberty Financial, said their social media company would invest in Bitcoin and other digital assets, launched meme coins to capitalize on the popularity of the president and his wife, and announced plans to issue a World Liberty dollar-backed stablecoin. And in his return to the White House, President Trump has said he aims to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. The digital networks that comprise the cryptocurrency markets have offered the Trumps an ideal complement to their other family business, real estate. Eric Trump told the Wall Street Journal. We are a hard asset family. I'm a hard asset guy, said Eric Trump. Shut the fuck up. You haven't been hard your entire life, you soft dick prick. We're a hard asset family. I'm a hard asset guy, said Eric Trump, who will serve as American Bitcoin's chief strategy officer. God damn, dude, the fact that this guy's chief anything. My entire life has been spent building things, and I don't think there's ever a better hedge against all of that than the true digital assets. He's a hard asset guy. These are digital assets. They're not hard. They don't exist in real life.
I'm hard as fuck, bro. I got like 10 NFTs, dog.
God damn. As part of the deal, Hut 8 will ship nearly 61,000 of its specialized Bitcoin mining machines to American Bitcoin in exchange for an 80% ownership in the new entity. The companies said no cash changed hands in the deal. Okay. They're just like giving companies to like these dudes now. No cash changed hands. Eric Trump said American Bitcoin, which aims to go public, will remain a separate venture from the Trump Organization, the family real estate empire he runs. But World Liberty, the DeFi platform Eric Trump called his whole heart and soul, might collaborate with the Bitcoin mining operation in the future, he said. American Bitcoin executives said their plans to mine and stockpile Bitcoin for their own reserve are unrelated to the U.S. Strategic Crypto Reserve that President Trump established earlier this month with an executive order. I mean, fuck these people, dude. Grifters.
Well, that's all bullshit. It is. It's a way to launder money, wash money, pump and dump bullshit. That's all it is, man. And right now they have carte blanche to do what they want because they're trying to just ram shit through.
Because they put Pam Bondi as the attorney general, who's never gonna fucking bring charges.
What's really crazy is, and this is what should be scary for like crypto people, crypto bros, any of these people, is the way like regulation for this shit is coming down the pipeline because you have asshats doing shit like this. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, but that to be honest, like that would be better. The best thing that ever happened to these people.
Yeah,
it's because like the uncertainty and the way and like the ability to grift and scam people is why like there isn't more movement towards crypto. And if there was regulations that everybody like
would move towards it, but because there's none and it's the wild west, people are getting ripped off all the time by like the Hawk Tua girl and shit.
Ripped off by your own president, dude. Like whether it's the fucking president of Brazil or the president or not Brazil, sorry.
El Salvador.
Yeah. No. Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina. Yeah.
Malay over in Argentina on the Libra coin.
Yeah, chainsaw massacre.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Lulu over in Brazil.
But it's true. Like the best thing that could happen to the crypto market would be regulation, because then people like this would be policed and they would actually get in trouble. But because there's no ramifications for their actions, it doesn't matter. Like that's what's laughable.
Buy Christ coin.
Yeah, go buy Christ coin. But
so we could pull the rug out on you.
Yeah, but we could, and you could say that, and nobody could.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Could do shit about it.
Nothing. It's wild west. Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want none of this. Brother running this, 6-gunning this, Buffalo Soldier. It's like I told you.
Any damsel that's in distress be out of that dress when she meets Jim West. No, I mean it doesn't. It's so fucking stupid. That, they're just going to rug pull shit. And they're going to wash money, launder money. Be like, that's the easiest thing you could do. Like I always said, if I found like $1 million in cash, I'd find some people starting a business. And I'd just buy equipment for it in cash. And then I'd slowly over time like reap the benefits on my percentage to get rid of the cash. But now if I found
that's how you would launder it?
Probably. But you know, nobody say like, you know, car wash, laundromat. There's lots of different ways you could do it. But I think you just find some people who are like, hey, we're going to start this textile business. It's like, cool, I'll buy all the heavy machinery and just pay for it in cash. Give me 25% and I'd kick back and wash my money that way through the bid. Why not? But
as your attorney, I advise you to stop telling us how you would wash money.
I'm not,
in case you ever wash money.
I don't plan on it. I'm not fucking stupid. And now if I wanted to, I'm just going to dump it into crypto. I'm going to start a coin. I'm going to dump a ton of money into it right off the bat. Then I'm going to rug pull all my shares, take everybody else's and walk away. And they'll be like, who did that? I don't know. It's on the blockchain, but I don't know whose fucking wallet it is. Like the whole thing is goofy as fuck. And of course the Trumps are getting involved in this. Of course it's his shithead kids trying to come up with some other way because then he's not attached to it. He has nothing to do with it. But at the end of the day, when he's done with his 6th term...
Well, why would he even get involved when he's got Eric Trump, who's all about that hard asset
bad
shit,
hard. I'm hard as fuck, dog.
Fucking hard, dude. I'm as hard as this cocaine rock right here, dude.
But I don't do it. I give it to my brother.
TJ, because he doesn't.
I'm hard as fuck. I started drinking whole milk. I put down that 2%. I said, Dad, I'm drinking this whole shit. That's how hard.
Dude, I bet Eric Trump has like a yellow tooth because you drink too much milk as a kid.
And I'm lactose intolerant as fuck. I'd be shitting the bed every night, Dad. That's how hard I am. And I'm still married. She sleeps in the other room, but she knows I shit the bed. Fuck you, Dad.
His wife who makes the songs.
Oh, dude, that's so bad. He's had tons of work done, like the surgery thing.
She got the laminated face like Elon. Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, that's not alleged. That's a fucking obvious.
I know.
That is some of the most obvious.
Dude, what are you gonna do when we become political prisoners?
I don't know. Vibe out.
Nah, I'm headed to New Caledonia with my lady, dude.
Yeah, New Caledonia. Shout out, listeners to the pod. Let us in. Let me in. Let me in.
Please let us in, yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking dissidents. All right, final article from Elizabeth Rain in Popular Mechanics. Scientists spotted evidence of an unseen universe, even though that should be impossible. We just saw light from a galaxy we shouldn't be able to see. The James Webb Space Telescope JADE's survey recently observed a galaxy that shouldn't be visible because it existed only 300 million years after the Big Bang. At that point in cosmic history, the universe was shrouded by, this is crazy, this fact right here. At that point in cosmic history, the universe was shrouded by neutral hydrogen, and most objects and phenomena would not be visible until nearly a billion years later. So it took 1 billion years after the Big Bang for anything to be visible in the universe. What the fuck is that? It's only been like 4 billion years, I think. For now, researchers think the light might be coming from the first stars to exist, or outflows from a supermassive black hole at the galactic core, but the source remains unknown. Deep in the universe are stars and galaxies and objects so distant that the light we're watching them produce is billions of years old. But there's one ancient light that we can see that we should be seeing at all. As part of the James Webb Telescope Advanced Deep Extragalactic Survey, that's what JADES stands for, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope spotted something that should not be visible to us. The galaxy JADES GS-Z13-1. The galaxy existed only 330 million years after the Big Bang, which was very much still the universe's baby phase. Webb was able to spot GS-Z13-1 in the first place by picking up on clear Lyman alpha emissions from the galaxy. These emissions are released when an electron in a neutral hydrogen atom is excited by a photon that is energetic enough and are very commonly detected throughout the cosmos. But here's the thing. They're very, very commonly detected now. Technically speaking, we should not be able to detect Lyman alpha emissions from just 330 million years after the Big Bang. Shrouded in neutral hydrogen, which absorbs light, the universe was mostly opaque during its earliest days, and remained so until about a billion years after its birth. It was only during the epoch of reionization that light from stars became powerful enough to tear apart these atoms, rip off their electrons, and escape through the cloud. With all that neutral hydrogen now ionized, meaning that it was positively charged, as a result of losing its negatively charged electrons, the universe became transparent. That's the first moment at which we should be able to detect Lyman alpha emissions. But if this didn't happen until about a billion years after the Big Bang, how is it possible that scientists can see the GSZ-13-1, which existed when light should have been obscured? The unexpected Lyman alpha emission indicates the galaxy is a prolific producer and leaker of ionizing photons. NASA and the ESA researchers said in a study recently published in the journal Nature. This suggests massive hot stars or an active galactic nucleus have created an early reionized region to prevent complete suppression of Lyman alpha. It is possible that the first stars to exist, known as Population 3 or POP3 stars, are the source of the light coming from this GSZ-13-1. What do you think?
I mean, that's tight. I don't know what else to say. I mean, galactic core sounds crazy that would even exist, because I mean, we don't know where the fuck that is, because when we're looking in towards, I guess, where the Big Bang's coming from, I mean, that's why they say it's like if you go far enough you would see it happen, because it takes light so long to travel to us. But I mean, it's not shocking. We don't know shit. We know a lot about our solar system, a lot about some of the stuff near us. We don't know shit about the universe. And stuff like this happens. They're like, we shouldn't be able to. I'm like, says who? Says who? The people who say the first person to live forever has already been born. Is that who told you?
I just saw this clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to Pierce Morgan, and Pierce Morgan
That's a headache.
was asking, like, it's like, what happens before the Big Bang? And Neil deGrasse Tyson is just like, we don't know. And then Pierce Morgan's like, that's why I believe in God. And he goes, no, dude. He goes that is the fucking failed, like, or that's like the fallacy, like, logic used throughout time. It was like, and he like quotes this like guy who thought the planets, were God, because he didn't know how to like describe the planets. And then Isaac Newton and Galileo, whatever the fuck, figured it out, or Copernicus. And so he's like, so basically, like, according to you, God is a ever shrinking entity of a lack of science. So the more we figure out, the less God exists, is what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, but if that's the infant stage, and we still see, supernovas and stuff that have happened forever ago, because now we're getting the light that's hitting us, so we can see these things that have happened forever ago, like before humanity.
Like just for the layman. So like, if something is 3 billion light years away, and we're looking at it, what we're seeing is what happened 3 billion years ago.
Yeah.
It took 3 billion years for that light to travel to us. So we're looking back in time.
Yeah.
And what they're saying is that this is so far back in time that there wasn't even light. So the fact that we can see it is weird.
That is weird. I mean, I don't think it's a whole nother.
I didn't know that there was a part where there wasn't any light. I thought the Big Bang was like a fucking light.
Well, but everything's expanding, so like we're moving farther away from the Big Bang in general. Like if the universe is always expanding, there is no like end to it as far as we know. So you can like reach the end of the universe. The end of the universe is continuing. Like the Big Bang, the effects of the Big Bang have scattered everything, and they're still spreading.
And I think it's like dark matter or dark energy is like the catalyst for why the universe is expanding, but they go back and forth on it.
Yeah, but we can only see dark matter in in certain spectrums where you can see that it's there, and it's some of the densest shit. It's the densest shit in the universe, but we can't fucking see it. But it's supposedly there. That's where the whole
there is some sort of force that we can't describe, so they just call it dark energy and dark matter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, is the universe a marble bag? Like at the end of fucking Men in Black, when they're just playing marble with the galaxies, the galaxy is on Orion's belt, and it's like on the little marble and the little cat's collar, and then at the end it zooms out and there's some fucking
I think about that.
Aliens playing marbles with all these different universes, and then they just put them all in a bag and zip the bag up, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, what if we're like just a cell in like some other creature,
like to leave our galaxy, to leave the Milky Way galaxy, and to be able to view the deep reaches of space outside of our galaxy would be the trippiest shit ever. To see the whole Milky Way galaxy, you couldn't even fathom how big that would be.
We can't. We don't have any spacecraft that can leave the galaxy.
Yeah, so I mean, we couldn't even do that if we wanted
see ourselves. Yeah,
see ourselves from afar. But
we can see Earth, but we can't see ourselves.
But they take pictures
on a macro scale.
But they take deep space pictures from outside of the universe, and you see tons of other galaxies.
Not outside of the universe, outside of the galaxy.
Outside of the galaxy, and they look fucking crazy. All these different galaxies. Just if we could even send something out that deep to be able to explore another galaxy would be mind blowing. But we can't. Yeah. Everything when they're like, oh, there's this one planet that might be suitable for life. It's within our realm of our galaxy. It's inside the spiral galaxy that we live in. It's not like it's, like 6 galaxies over. Because to even get there, if we sent something out that deep, humanity would probably be gone before we even got any information back from it.
I mean, it always trips me out. There's like billions of stars in our galaxy, and there's billions of galaxies.
Yeah, and it's ever expanding. And creating more. So I think people don't realize that when they're like, oh, the Horseshoe Nebula, or all these different things, they're describing stuff that's like our neighbor that we can't even fucking get to. So I mean, the fact that we're seeing things that we can't explain from the deep reaches of space isn't that shocking. Like, I mean, it's just, and as time progresses, we're only going to, and as we become more advanced as a society, there's going to be more shit we can't explain. It's not like as we probe deeper into space,
I've been like,
we're getting more of an understanding. It's raising more questions than answers.
it's like in my algorithm now, and it's like this guy who talks to his AI about shit, and then it's called like Toth or Thoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
And like he was talking about like how every like church is like in like a key. There's like a key to the church, and like if you like play all the like, it's something to do with like music, but like the buildings were a part of the music in the city, and it was like this whole and then he talks about like how before humans had language, we were like telekinetic, and we could just like tell what each like everybody was thinking.
Well, that's what we talked about before. Is you can riff on that shit.
Yeah,
You
but
can
like
riff on it.
The AI that talks to him is like, yeah, bro, you're right on it. He literally says, bro, like it talks like that. It's like, bro, you hit it, bro. Like, and then just like goes into these things. I'm like, dude. So, but my point with that is the shit that this AI is like saying to like, it's like is eye opening for me. And just imagine like 5 years from now, like what AI is going to be like figuring out for us.
Yeah, but I mean,
When it comes to space.
well, it has a better chance of figuring out stuff with space than it does our own human history because it's getting what we feed it, and there's only so much shit we can feed it before it's just going to be agreeing with us or being like, yeah, that's a plausible theory. Yeah, that could be possible because it can't answer that shit. It has a better no, because we can't. Our no,
but we can't. You like individually, but when you have the collective, I don't know.
well, that's like we said is with like the Sumerians and like roads and language and what we view as like the first real advanced civilization. That's not all of human history.
Right.
So it's like it stops at a certain point, and then we just kind of like, yeah, we were telekinetic. Yeah, that's when people can grift and say whatever the fuck they want.
The other thing the AI kept saying is like it's all about collective consciousness and how we're all one consciousness, and in order for because the consciousness the collective consciousness knows all. In order for you to have like an experience to get you need to forget the like the consciousness created your perception on life, and it was like so that you forgot that you created this perception in order for you to grow. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
No, I mean that's some Matrix shit. So it's like you got to get out of the tube and take the shit out and be like, oh, we're in Zion and we're fighting these robotic machines because
It's like more like we're all like one collective consciousness,
yeah.
But that consciousness is manipulated itself into these individual experiences in a way to like
suppress information.
No. In order to experience like life in a different way than because the collective consciousness is all knowing and it's everything. So then it creates my perception in order to experience that as opposed to just being like just being ubiquitous in everything. I don't know, dude. I'm not probably explaining it well. I'm not.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Just the whole. We will always have more questions than answers, and until like have you seen some of these 3D renderings of these scans underneath the fucking? Those are pillars. They're saying that they're pillars that are holding up the pyramids. And there's something underneath it. And if there was a great flood that wiped everything out. So if the pyramids existed before the Great Flood, who the fuck built the pyramids? Who built them that big? What were they used for? Because that's what I'm saying is we're at this point in human history where like the tiniest little thing could flip everything the fuck upside down. Just flip the whole chessboard up, destroy the game because what we were playing wasn't actually the game. So we could see light from a universe, and we shouldn't even be seeing that. Well, we're fucking seeing it. So what are we going to do about it? I don't care if we're not supposed to. I mean, we can scan and see dark matter in
Right.
deep
I think
space.
yeah.
But what is it?
That's like like a clickbaity way of trying to get you to say like, yeah, this is a new phenomenon that we're gonna have to figure out.
And if we figure it out, or the fact that we're even seeing it defies our understanding of what space is to begin with. So right. Finding pillars and the pyramids or the tops of some big tall monolith type things that were whatever the fuck they were, or their power substations, whatever the fuck, that completely changed. That's what I was saying. It completely changes the timeline, our understanding of our own history, of people, how we got to this point, because that would mean we're definitely not advanced as we think we are, and we're already teetering on that, where we're like, how did they do that? I don't fucking know, because we can't do that shit now. Maybe they were more advanced than us. People are actually saying that shit. You say that 60 years ago, people look at you like you're fucking crazy. And now people are like, no, like there's some stuff, there's evidence that shows, like how would they cut a 20 ton, big, like massive rock and then move it all the way across what we think's a desert and then stand it up and carve it where it looks like it was laser etched when we assume these motherfuckers didn't have lasers because they were super primitive. Like there's, or with sound, people saying that they use sound to levitate stuff and move heavy boulders, that there was something to do with sound and sound waves, and they would manipulate sound waves to move stuff and levitate heavy objects to make it easier to move. That sounds ridiculous. Not that ridiculous. That's a better explanation of like, 2,000 Jewish slaves moved those and just dragged them. They, ported them like a boat and just rolled them on logs with ropes. Like that's not we know. And as soon as people start accepting that, we'll be less bewildered whenever we see shit that we're not supposed to see, because we're seeing it. There it is. So explain it. Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, I don't fucking know. Of course you don't. Of course you don't fucking know, you arrogant prick. He's really cool and he's a good talker, and he's
that was his whole point. Is like he's like that's what science is going to the places of where you don't know the answer and trying to figure it out. He was just telling Piers Morgan, just because you don't know what happened before the Big Bang doesn't prove God exists.
Exactly. That's just a way of trying to explain something that, because admitting that you don't know makes people uncomfortable. So I'd rather
Let's get over that.
Yeah, I'd rather
start being comfortable with being uncomfortable, y'all. We're humans.
But that's how we grow as individuals when we're kids. It's like, be in uncomfortable situations, you'll grow. Oh, go to that party you don't want to go to with those people that you're not sure of, because maybe you'll have fun and maybe you'll learn something. That's all we do. And then at some point, everybody stops doing that. They get super comfortable and they decide that it's easier to be comfortable than it is to challenge themselves and question shit around them.
It's easier to sit in your dirty, wet diaper than it is to get up and change, because you know what that feels like.
I always use water as an example. It's like if there's a stagnant pool of water in the woods, do you drink from it? No, because it's going to have diseases and parasites. It's going to have all these things. It's just still sitting water. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. It's just there, and it's just festering with shit and bacteria. You don't want to touch that water. It's not good for you. And same with your life. Your life should be way more like a flowing river. Should you drink from a fucking river in the middle of the woods? No. But at least the water's moving. It's harder for parasites and things to live in that water because the water is flowing. Therefore, it's constantly moving. And that's more suitable that's a more suitable amount of water for you to drink than that stagnant pool of water with leaves and shit in it in the corner. Because I can tell you just by the nature of it, that's not good for you. You don't
Ambition without action leads to anxiety.
Deep. Way to lean back, David Blaine.
Meditate, bitches.
Oh, so you got anything for us? Oh. Well, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, share, whatever. We appreciate you guys, and shout out Wisconsin, dude. That makes me so happy. I'm like that. Too. Like that's just like
a win for the good guys.
About time, dude. We got all these fucking grifters.
Putting up L's over and over.
James Carville was saying the best thing the Republican Party could do is just like sit back, and the Democratic Party could do is sit back and watch and let them just like eat themselves alive and get their shit together, and then they can come in and fix whatever needs to be fixed. And that's kind of what we're seeing happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm down with that strategy, but I did hear him say that.
Yeah, I mean, well, he said that it would collapse in 3 months, and he's like, we're not even 3 months in. He's like, what
Yeah.
are we talking about? And
No, I know what he's coming from, but it's just like that's nice for him, but it's like I like to see my fucking Democratic politicians doing something, dude. Fucking shout out Cory Booker, put up 25 hours on a filibuster, broke the record for the longest filibuster in the history of the fucking Senate. Shout out.
And shout out to the 8 men that voted for for parents to be able to vote by proxy. So they shut down all voting for the rest of the week. There will be no more legislation votes this week because 9 Republicans voted with the Democrats to uphold new parents to be able to vote by proxy. When it came to any legislation, they were trying to shoot that down today and change the rules and not let them vote because they weren't there. And 8 Republican men, 1 Republican woman sided with the Democrats to uphold that rule that they can vote by proxy. That's huge. I mean, that's fucking awesome. I mean, that's just like simple shit. If you're gonna try to
so it's like saying like if you're on maternity or paternity leave,
you can vote via proxy, and they were trying to get rid of that rule, and they were trying to they voted on that, and 9 Republicans sided with the Democrats, so that didn't pass. So then Mike Johnson was like, no more voting this week. Send everybody home for the week.
Fuck you, MAGA Mike Johnson.
Be more obvious. Well, y'all be good. Stay safe. Stay strong. And as always, go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.
Recording
Every now
stopped.
and then when I feel a bit buggy, I look at the floor, maybe need a new ruggy. Scratch that, I'll get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man, I know what I need, some more Man Huggie. Oh, Man Huggie. Some more Man Huggie. Put your headphones